Okay guys, so the Vance Hines Fuelpak FP3 AutoTune. I'm just gonna tell you my views on it. It's not that great. I mean, it sounds really great on paper because it's a tuning feature on the tuner. I mean, it can actually tune your bike as you ride it. You don't need a dyno. You don't need technicians doing it for you. You can just do it yourself as you ride. So yeah, it sounds great, but the problem is in practice it's not that good, you know. I'll tell you my experiences with it. I have the Vance Hines 3-inch slip-ons with white baffles. So when I installed my Fuelpak 3, I downloaded one of the CAN maps for that particular setup, and it was great. It ran really great. I mean, I'm really impressed that the CAN map, without any custom tunings, that can work so well. So I thought, why not just improve it, you know, get myself get an AutoTune done, right? And I was even thinking about recording while I did that AutoTune. But I thought, yeah, let me just go through the first AutoTune session without actually recording it, because I didn't know how it would go. And then on the next session I would record it. So what happened is, it was a real pain to even set it up, you know, just flashing the bike multiple times. Because one problem is, when your engine is cold and you have the AutoTune enabled, you can't even get your bike moving. It idles okay, but as soon as you give it a little gas, it almost stalls. So I figured it needed a warm engine to work, so I had to flash back my CAN map, ride for a while, warm the engine up, and then set up the AutoTune again. And you know, you can actually have your phone running, and it will show you the various points on the graph, on the throttle position and what's the other axis? Throttle position and RPM, yeah. So it shows you the graph updating live as your AutoTune progresses, and that I could see it updating live, but only for a while, and after that it just stopped updating. So I thought, what the hell, maybe it just stopped AutoTuning, maybe I should stop, you know, set it up again. So I did that, and that took like forever. I was standing by the side of the road trying that out, because you have to again like stop the AutoTune, flash back your CAN map, and again flash the AutoTune setup. So and each time you flash, it takes like 5 minutes or something. I may be exaggerating a little, but not a lot. So yeah, you got to do that, and then it would still not work. So I did that a few times. I wasted maybe half an hour or more trying to keep you know, setting up the AutoTune from scratch every time. Finally I got some updates on the graph, and then it stopped again. So I kind of figured that it would just, you know, it wasn't updating the graph, but it was still doing the AutoTune, or it was still capturing the values. So I went on with that, flashed the results of the AutoTune. Of course, as expected, all the points on the graph are not populated when you do an AutoTune, unless you, like, I was running in the city, I was running on the highways, you know, low speeds, high speeds, hard acceleration, but the AutoTune was just, you know, it did populate some part of the graph. And from what I've seen online, it's like my graph was similar to what other people have experienced. In fact, maybe a little better than that. So yeah, I thought it was a good AutoTune. I flashed it, but I noticed that the bike wasn't running as good as it was with this CAN map. but I did run it for a while. I thought maybe I was just imagining it, and then after a while I flashed back to my CAN map, and wow, that was a big difference. I mean, I really wasn't imagining it. My CAN map was better than the AutoTune. And I'll put some screenshots here, of comparisons of my stock, or not my stock, my CAN map versus the AutoTune map. So with the AutoTune, what happens is your CAN map is the base, and wherever it can, record some values as you run, it updates the CAN map values with the updated or the refreshed values. So after you do the AutoTune, you're kind of you end up with a combination of the CAN map with some new values. So you'll see that wherever it has updated, the values are like wildly different from the CAN values. How can that be? If the CAN map is running so well, I mean, you would expect some variations in the values, not something like totally different, right? So that's what I saw on some of the CAN maps, or sorry, on some of the cells of the AutoTune. So how could that be? Was that a tiger? You see the bike that just went by? Let me see if I can catch that. So yeah, I didn't really get a chance to look at it properly. Okay, so as I was saying, the updated values, which were a result of the AutoTune, they were wildly different from the CAN map, and the CAN map was running better than the AutoTune map. So makes me think the AutoTune did not go well for some reason. It wasn't getting proper or accurate values. And then I think a few days after that, I got an update of the Vance Hines app, the Android app, along with a firmware update for my fuel pack. So they said in the changelog, they said that there were some bug fixes for AutoTune. Now they did not say what the bugs exactly were, and so I don't know if I do an AutoTune now, if it's going to be any different. Because there were a lot of bugs. As I was trying to get that graph working and trying to flash back and forth between AutoTune mode and the CAN map, sometimes it would say it would not connect to my fuel pack over Bluetooth. Sometimes it would connect and it would say that the fuel pack is paired to another bike. And if you don't know, the fuel pack 3, if you use it for flashing, it kind of marries to your bike when you do the first flash, and then you cannot use it on any other bike. So it's married to my bike, and it should not give me that error that it's not married to this bike. It is synced to this bike, and it should let me flash. But I kept getting that error quite a few times that it was not married to this bike. So was that the bug? Or was it that the graph not updating? Was that the bug? Or was it the actual AutoTune process not working correctly and not recording correct values? Was that the bug? So yeah, I don't know. But it's quite clear that my AutoTune did not go well. It did not record the correct values. So I'm kind of I probably should give them the benefit of the doubt and do another AutoTune, but I'm not really willing to do that because the CAN map is running so well. And the other problem with the AutoTune is if you really want to do a good AutoTune, you really have to cover all the... should I overtake him? Yeah, I'm not gonna get in his way. So, to do a proper AutoTune, you have to cover a lot of points on the graph, you know. So, the graph is like RPM on one axis and throttle position on the other. So, if you know what that means, you have to do like all the way from low RPM to high RPMs in every throttle position, which is really difficult, you know. I mean, even if you do it on a dyno, it's difficult, and doing it on the road, yeah, it's really difficult. You see, the problem with these ambulances, you can hear them, but you can't see them because they don't have any emergency lights in the front. I can't see him properly on my mirror, it's just the headlights. Okay, so that's the thing with the AutoTune. I'm not really willing to do it again, maybe sometime later, because it is really difficult to take the bike through the entire rev range and entire throttle position range, you know. You see the ambulance, it's got its rear lights on, but that's not very important, is it? You should have your front emergency lights on, because people need to see you in their mirrors. So that's my take on the AutoTune process. I should probably try to Google up and find out exactly what they meant by the bug fixes, exactly what bugs they fixed. Did they actually find any bugs in the AutoTune process? Because that's the important part for me. The graph doesn't update, it's just a visual thing. It doesn't really bother me. But yeah, the connection issues, they are bad, because one thing is, each time you try to flash and reflash and do all that, you gotta have your bike in ignition on mode, which means your headlight is on and your engine is not running. So your battery drains, you know, and each time you do a flash, it takes anywhere from like, I think it takes at least 3 or 4 minutes. So you have some trouble with the connection, you do it 4 or 5 times, yeah, you can easily drain your battery. So that's another thing I'm worried about. So yeah, looks like I may not really be doing the AutoTune again anytime soon. Who knows, I may change my mind. Let's see, huh? So yeah, that's all I had to say. Look at that guy's mirror. So yeah, guys, put in some comments below if you have any experiences with the AutoTune yourself. Did you have any trouble? Did it work well for you? How different was it from your CAN map? Let me know. Alright then, bye. Hey guys, if you remember my video with the bugs, you know, the bug smeared, bug splattered windshield, bug splattered visor, helmet, right? Look at my windshield now, can you see them? It's all full of bugs. Bugs, not bugs, all full of bugs. Mosquitoes most likely. So that's another benefit of having the windshield. But you know what? I think it's probably easier to clean your helmet visor than your windshield, isn't it? So I don't know. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye.